All right, everybody. It's your boy Jay coming back again for another stream tonight. We are on day 27, episode 27 of our 31 days of football. We have 4 more days left, 5 more teams to go over. Tonight we're going to get into Joe Burrow's injury, Mr. Baker Mayfield stepping up, and then Mr. GENO SMITH and those Seattle Seahawks. Quick shout out to the Wrench Gang, the family, all the listeners, all the watchers. Shout out to all you guys for rocking with us tonight. Make sure you smash that thumbs up. It is, of course, much appreciated. And I do thank you all for the support and being here with us tonight. All right. Look at the Wrench Gang coming through. Shout out to all you guys. I hope all of you are doing well as we get into tonight's show. Question of the day, as I'm getting more updates from ESPN. All right, that's not important. Will Burrow's injury affect the Bengals week 1? 93% of you guys says yes. Obviously, we'll recap that towards the end of the show, but right now, you guys think that it will. So let's go ahead and get into it. Let's roll the clip.
Here is Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow dropping back rather nonchalantly, and then you'll quickly see gets very uncomfortable. It looks like a right calf issue. He was already wearing that sleeve on that calf, and for more on what we know, this was just moments ago, so the answer is not a whole lot. We bring back Shefty. Shefty, what is our limited
So I'm just gonna
uncomfortable? It looks like a
bring it back here. Let's see if I could. We'll do it like
then
this.
You'll quickly see gets very
All right, so he's going off the run, right? He's going off the run here, and it looks like
uncomfortable.
Right there is he tweaked something, maybe twisted something in the calf. It says that he strained his calf, but it looks like it happened right there.
It's like a right calf issue. He was already wearing that sleeve
Shout out to
on
you, Patty.
that calf, and for more on what we know, this was just moments ago, so the answer is not a whole lot. We bring back Shefty. Shefty, what is our limited scope of information that we have on Joe Burrow at the time?
Field, moments ago, the Bengals head coach Zach Taylor met with reporters, and he told them that Joe Burrow suffered a calf injury a short time ago during practice. The calf injury led to Joe Burrow being carted away from practice. He said they would have more information soon, and really, if it is a calf injury, that would be the best case scenario for the Cincinnati Bengals. He did have a sleeve on his calf at one point in time. Calf injuries are muscles. He could miss some time during camp. It wouldn't be a long-term issue, seemingly so, but that would be the best case scenario if Zach Taylor is.
All right, so yeah, I mean, obviously if it's just a calf strain, then that would be worse, or best case scenario, as you said. Worst case scenario, it's something more than that. But I mean, pretty sure you guys have had a calf injury before or tweaked something like that. Spasms. I don't really think you had to be carted off the field because of a calf injury. But hey, Joe Burrow is, multi-$100 million man, so they are going to treat it as it is. But we'll see what happens. Shout out to Rick, says just put some Robitussin on it. You guys are brutal. Absolutely brutal. Let's get into the story, though. Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow was carted off the field during Thursday's practice with an injury to his right calf, Coach Zach Taylor told reporters. Burrow was rolling to his right during drills when he pulled up short in what appeared to be a non-contact injury. He was later carted off the field. It was 10 minutes ago, so we don't have any more information, Taylor said. According to a source, an early assessment indicates that Burrow is dealing with a calf strain. This is him being carted off. It doesn't look too crazy. Yeah, I mean, he should be fine. He may take, a week off or something like that. Camp is important, but when it comes to your star quarterback, you definitely want to make sure that they're in tip-top shape come week 1. Continuing on, says Taylor was asked about the compression sleeve Burrow wore around his calf, one he was not wearing after the team's first practice of training camp Wednesday. He said that Burrow opted to wear it Thursday. We'll get more information as we go, which this is kind of interesting, though. Because if he didn't already have an injury, why did he decide to wear the sleeve? Why did he opt to wear it today? And then this happens today. So maybe something was already at play here and he could have made it worse. Listen, they never tell us the full scale of things. We always get the bits and pieces of it because obviously they don't want people freaking out, and they basically have to keep certain things contained to a certain degree. So it could be more than what it is, and hey, it could just be a calf injury. Calf strain. But yeah, we were just having a conversation about this yesterday in regards to how things can change just like that. You know, hopefully it's nothing too serious, too crazy. And I'm going to tell you why. Well, number one, because obviously you don't want to see anybody get injured. But I don't want any excuses for you Bengals fans this year. I don't want any excuses because when we go play the Bengals, whether it be in the playoffs or any other time, I don't want there to be no excuses when we win. I don't want it to be, oh, Burrow was hurt and that's why you guys won, or Mahomes was hurt, that's why you guys won. I don't want that. I want these guys fully healthy, and I want to get the win, and I don't want you guys to have any kind of controversy about it. And that is just that. Shout out to Manitas. What up, man? What's going on with you? Bob says trying to change those Vegas odds. He just immediately went, plus 300 for Super Bowl chances. Immediately, as soon as that happened. Shout out to you, Jacqueline. What's going on with you? Ronald says, Jay, it probably was hot out there, and he didn't want to continue practice. You know the Bengals are good at faking injuries. Shout out to Ronald. Ronald said it, ladies and gentlemen. I didn't say it. Ronald said it. I didn't say it. All right. But no, all jokes aside, we definitely want him to, be okay. You don't want any of your players to be injured on both sides. But I do feel like it's kind of interesting because Mr. Burrow is not the only person who was injured in this short time frame of 2 weeks. Obviously, my Bills Mafia, we lost Nyheim Hines for the season, in which now there's issues in regards to his contract and whether or not he's going to be paid. That's an issue that's kind of crazy because he could forfeit his whole season salary. Could you imagine something happens to you at your job and obviously you can't go to work? And even if you had disability insurance, you still don't get paid the money because you can't go in? That'd be kind of crazy. But that's the situation that Nyheim is in right now. But hopefully there's, something that they can do. And he doesn't have some kind of weird clause in his contract saying that if there was like a non-sports injury that happened, you don't get paid anything. But we'll see. I'll keep you guys updated on that as we go. Speaking of injuries, there's also another big injury that's going on. Jalen Ramsey, that Dolphins pickup that everyone was so excited about? Well, he's to have knee surgery. Let's get into this one.
Receiving tandem in the NFL.
To me, they are. Listen, major props to T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and various others. Obviously, I'm missing something. Justin Jefferson in Minnesota. We know Stephon Diggs. We get all in Buffalo. We get all of this. But when I look at Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, these brothers are electrifying, and it's like, they get the ball in motion. It's lights out. It's lights out, especially with Tyreek Hill. Who's my favorite receiver in the National Football League, over 1,700 receiving yards. There is nothing out of reach with this brother. He could take a 5-yard pass and take it to the – don't need much.
For those men, and to me, it screens and take it to the house. Team-wise.
All right, so I don't know why they do this, but you guys get where they're going. They're talking about the Dolphins, and they'll kind of like put these kind of videos that are in relation to the story. You guys get where we're going. Jalen Ramsey will undergo surgery on the meniscus in his left knee and is expected to miss the start of the regular season, league sources told ESPN's Adam Schefter. Ramsey's ACL is intact, the sources said. Ramsey posted on social media that he'll be back on the field stronger than ever. His tweet said, I'll be back on the field stronger than ever in due time. This so minor for God's child. I trust fully, and I know he got me. I'm forever grateful to worship his name. I know my brother is going to hold it down until I'm back, though. Appreciate the love and support. Time to get right. This is a big pickup for the Dolphins. So obviously a lot of different factors and a lot of adjustments are going to have to be made on that Dolphins defense. It says Ramsey left Thursday's practice early after colliding with Riot receiver Tyreek Hill. How ridiculous is that? And then he was carted back to the locker room afterward. The three-time All-Pro participated in 11-on-11 drills in the team's third day of training camp, but appeared to get tangled up with Hill while in coverage. Both players fell to the ground, and Ramsey sat upright for a few seconds before standing to his feet. He attempted to walk off the injury before leaving the field under his own power. Team athletic trainers tended to his left knee for the remainder of practice, and Ramsey was carted back to the locker room at the conclusion of practice. The Dolphins traded a third-round pick and tight end Hunter Long for Ramsey this offseason, pairing him with another All-Pro cornerback in Xavier Howard. Head coach Mike McDaniel is expected to comment on Ramsey's status when he speaks to the media Friday morning. Obviously, we'll get into that. We'll see what McDaniel has to say. But yeah, I mean, this is another big blow. He actually has to have surgery, so we'll see how this plays out for the Dolphins. But yeah, interesting injuries for these teams. Shout out to Bob. Says it's been hot. Yeah, 95 today. Heat index 108. Yeah, people don't realize with the warming of the earth, the heat going up, you're going to see a lot more as far as injuries go. You're going to see a lot more incidents as far as, heat-related illnesses. So, even if you don't play sports and you're doing stuff outside, make sure that you get yourself some water. Stay hydrated. And, you should stay hydrated regardless. But even more so if you're out in that heat and doing stuff outside. So, just a key piece of advice for you guys. Stay hydrated. Sheila says Jalen played for us, big crybaby and troublemaker, but would never wish him hurt. Shout out to Sheila. She's going to tell you like it is, but then wish you the best. Shout out to you, Sheila. All right, next story up. Mr. Baker Mayfield. Now, you guys know we've been talking about Baker and him obviously taking over the Buccaneers after Tom Brady left. I want to see Kyle Trask. Coaching staff doesn't really believe in Kyle Trask yet. So they got Baker Mayfield, and they're basically saying that, hey, we're going to potentially give him the reins. Well, right now he's in a competition with Kyle Trask and company. Right? They're not too sure of Baker either, for good reason. Right? What did he do with the Browns? What did he do with the Panthers? What did he do with the Rams? He's on his fourth team now. Let's get into the story. Baker Mayfield reveling in Bucs quarterback competition. I know what I'm capable of. I feel like a lot of people say that. And a lot of people do know what they're capable of. But sometimes they don't show it. Fresh off the practice field on his second day of training camp with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, quarterback Baker Mayfield chuckled when he reached the Bucs' makeshift outdoor podium, and coach Todd Bowles shouted from 30 feet away, Baker, are you the starter? I feel like if you have to ask that question, you just know that it's not the case. But hey, I love it, Mayfield said with a smile as he tilted the microphone closer in his direction. He has clearly made himself at home, whether it be warming up alongside towering defensive lineman Vita Vea or detailing the chronicles of his Sasquatch hunting bachelor party at Mike Evans' charity event, or even having a brief but testy moment with a reporter last month. He doesn't even wait for the questions to begin. You can tell he's done this a lot already. Instead of proceeding to reflect on the day's work, he acknowledges there is rust after a 6-week summer hiatus, but pleased with the team's recall and execution of offensive coordinator Dave Canales' new offense. Listen, there's tons of rust there, Baker, and I hate to beat up on the man, but we have to be honest here. 4 different teams. I feel like he did way better with his commercials than he did on the field. And I'm sure a lot of you would agree. One of my buddies, he's actually a Browns fan. He told me he never wants me to mention Baker Mayfield to him ever again. So that just goes to show as far as the taste that Browns fans have for Mr. Baker. there is a lot of expectations when it comes to these Buccaneers. Obviously, Tom Brady has left, so the next person up has to be able to go out there, perform, do what they need to do on the field, and actually get this team some wins. Is Baker Mayfield going to be that guy? I don't think so. When you look at a history of things that have happened with Baker, if you look at the history of, how he came in for a couple of games and we thought he's going to do great and then he let us down, if you don't look at history, it's bound to repeat itself if you don't make the proper changes. And I don't think he's made the proper changes. So I think we'll see the same old Baker. He'll go out there, he'll smile for the camera, he'll throw the ball, he'll run around a little bit, and then, he'll lose some games, and then they'll put Kyle Trask in to kind of come in and clean things up. And then if Kyle Trask can't do it, they'll just blame everything on him, and then they'll say that they're back in a rebuilding phase. There you go. That would be the Buccaneers' worst case scenario. Best case scenario, Baker comes out and he shocks everybody. It's just the reality of it. Shout out to Shantae. What up, yo? What's going on with you, Shantae? Bob laugh. Yeah, man. It's you guys know. Bob says I don't even remember one of his commercials. Yeah, he did the State Farm commercials. He was at the stadium with his wife, and they made a good little show of it. I actually liked the commercials. They were fun. But you can tell he definitely enjoyed his endorsements because that's where the real money was. He didn't get his real money on the field, that's for sure. Sheila says, Jay just don't understand about Kyle Trask, must not see it in him. I mean, that's the problem. The man said under Tom Brady, he didn't get much playing time, obviously. So, what are you going to do? You got a rookie quarterback, which, I mean, he's not a rookie, but you get it. He's a rookie quarterback. He's sat under Tom Brady. He's had some time to really understand, the game and watch what he did and, be mentored by him. So naturally, in his mind, he would say, hey, I think it's my time to, step up and do what I need to do and potentially take over this franchise. And they're like, wait a minute, sir. Wait a minute. We're going to bring in Baker because we feel that he's better than you. And that stings. That stings. Shout out to Shante, says commercials were so much better than his play on the field. It goes without saying when you remember somebody's commercials better than you remember them playing. That definitely says a lot. Jesse James says Geno. Yeah, we're going to get into Geno momentarily. Continuing with the story, says just work each day, one day at a time right now. The Bucs are Mayfield's third team since the Cleveland Browns traded him away. So I apologize, I said third team. The Bucs are Mayfield's third team since the Cleveland Browns traded him away for a conditional draft pick 1 year ago. They're now learning to navigate life without 7-time Super Bowl winner Tom Brady. Naturally, it led pundits to assume Mayfield's done, and so are the Buccaneers. Although the former Heisman Trophy winner and number 1 overall draft pick isn't giving either much thought. So, yeah. Listen, you never know how this is going to go. He could come out and shock everybody, in which I hope he does. I like seeing surprising stuff like that. I root for the underdog. You know that. We'll stream these games. We'll have fun. Sometimes I'm rooting for the underdog, and it's amazing to see when they do come out with the win and do something crazy. But whether or not he's able to use, his team and actually be great as a quarterback is what's going to be in question. So, yeah. There you go. Bob says Trask may be the next Brock Purdy. You never know. You never know. All right. Seattle Seahawks. But before we get into that, I want to address something. Mr. GENO SMITH himself. Now, I did the Jaguars stream with you guys about 2 weeks ago. And I had everybody commenting under it saying, because I said I didn't have Trevor Lawrence in my top 10 quarterbacks going into 2023 season. I got messages on the video. I got messages in my DMs on Facebook. You guys didn't like that I said that. And I gave you a list as far as people that I thought were above Mr. Trevor Lawrence. And I also said that he could be a top 10 quarterback going into this year. But right now, for my number 10, number 9, at least, even if you were to give him a tie, I have to put GENO SMITH ahead of Trevor Lawrence. Well, Jay, why are you saying that? Why would you say that GENO SMITH is ahead of Trevor Lawrence? Well, let's look at it. 4,282 yards, 30 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 60.8 on the QBR. Let's break it down. 399 attempts on 572 399 completions on 572 attempts, 69.8% on the completion percentage. His long was 54. He was sacked 46 times. And then obviously the QBR 60.8. Now let's go look at Mr. Trevor Lawrence. 4,113 yards, 25 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He finished with a QBR of 55 or 54.5. His long was 59. Sacks at 27. But just from a production standpoint, even though they both made it to the playoffs, right? They both made it to the playoffs. From a production standpoint, Geno just did more. And that's why. And everybody's going to be like, well, Jay, he's been in the league for 10 plus years. Trevor Lawrence has only been in the league for 2. It always goes by what you did last year. What have you done for me lately, right? Isn't that what we talk about? Shout out to Bob, says the season is wide open. It definitely is. Shout out to Alec, says them boys better play better complimentary football this season. He really had to go with the Cowboys. I'm talking about Geno right now. Geno. So yeah, I do think Geno's better than Trevor. I've given my reasons why. Y'all know with me it's facts over feelings. We're keeping that mantra going. We don't get emotional over here. It's facts over feelings. So there you go. That's why, to me, Geno is better than Mr. Trevor. Now we'll see. Obviously, if there's changes as the season goes on, and I'll switch it up. You know how we do. The top 10 will change. It will change as the season goes on, and we'll address it at that time. But for right now, that's my opinion. Shout out to you, Shante. Let's go, yo. So yeah, I think that Pete Carroll seen something coming as far as with Russell Wilson, decided to bet the house on Geno, and it paid off to a certain extent. Will it happen again this year? We'll see. But let's go ahead and get into the depth chart. Obviously, for your Seattle Seahawks, quarterback starting GENO SMITH, followed by a Drew Lock, which obviously they got from the Broncos in that trade. Holton Allers is going to be at the third. For your running back, Kenneth Walker the third, Zach Charbonnet, whatever. DJ Dallas, Kenny McIntosh, wide receiver DK Metcalf, which, did any of you guys see the video with DK Metcalf saying what his diet was? How he eats like once a day, but he has like candy all day, like a ridiculous amount of candy. If you have a chance, check out that video because it was absolutely ridiculous. I couldn't believe it. I think he was trolling, but yeah, it's wild. Tyler Lockett, Jackson Smith, Noah Fant's going to be your tight end. Fullback's going to be Nick Bellore. Left tackle, Charles Cross. Left guard, Damian Lewis. Center, Evan Brown. Right guard, Phil Haynes. Right tackle, Abraham Lucas. Getting into your defense, Dramont Jones, Brian Monet, Duran Reed, Darrell Taylor, Jordan Brooks, Bobby Wagner. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame one day, right? He should be. That man's a beast. Uchenna Wolsu, Devin Witherspoon, Jamal Adams, Quandre Diggs, Tariq Woolen. As far as your special teams, Jason Myers, Michael Dixon, DJ Dallas, and then Chris Stoll for your long snapper. And that is going to be your depth chart for these Seattle Seahawks. Getting into the schedule, starting at week 1, they're going against the Rams. This should be a good one. Geno Smith, Matt Stafford, starting off week 1. Both teams going to play hard. It's not going to be an easy victory for either team. I think this is going to be more so what the defense is going to do. Man, Bobby Wagner, Aaron Donald, this is going to be wild. I'm going to have to go. I think I'm going to have to reverse course and go low-scoring game. Maybe Seahawks by a field goal. There's a lot going on here as far as on both sides. You've got Stafford, Cooper Kupp combination. You got Geno, Metcalf, both good running backs. So, yeah, I definitely expect a good one there. Week 2 is going to be against Detroit. I got to go with the Lions on this one. Week 3 against the Panthers. I'm going to go Seahawks. Week 4 against the Giants. That's going to be a Monday night game. 50-50 here. Bye week. We get into week 6. That's against the Bengals. I'm going to take the Bengals there. Week 7, I'm going to take the Seahawks against the Cardinals. I'm going to take the Seahawks against the Browns. Week 8. Another 50-50 game. Baltimore and the Seahawks. I do want to give the edge, though, to Baltimore, just offensively. I'm going to give Week 10 to the Seahawks. The rematch will be at Week 11. We'll see, obviously, what happens there. San Francisco, I'm going to give them Week 12. San Francisco. I'm going to give Dallas Week 13. They'll play San Francisco again. I'm going to give San Francisco that one. They'll play the Eagles. Got the Eagles for Week 15. Titans and the Seahawks. I'm going to give the edge to the Seahawks just because they have more chemistry over there, more of a developed team. Shout out to Timo. What's up, man? Timo in the building. I ain't seen my man Timo in a while. Says, yeah, I don't know if I'm watching this year. Are you okay? You good? Week 17 is going to be against the Steelers. Kenny Pickett and company. That's going to be a good one. And then, of course, they'll play against the Cardinals again. It gets really rough for these Seahawks past Week 8. You got Baltimore, which is going to be a tough game. Commanders should be simple. Rams, 49ers, Dallas, 49ers, Eagles. Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. Seahawks are definitely one of the most slept-on teams in the NFL right now. And that's because of their X factors, Geno Smith, right? He's been in the league for a long time. Everybody's going to consider last year to be a fluke year. But I think I consider Geno Smith is basically in the same position that Jared Goff is in. Nobody expected these Detroit Lions to be a factor, and here they are. So, yeah, I definitely think that they'll do okay. I'm not sure if they'll make the postseason, though. But, yeah, getting into preseason, as far as Thursday, August 10th, they're going to play the Vikings. The 19th, they'll play the Cowboys, and they'll wrap it up before the regular season on 8/26 with the Green Bay Packers. So, yeah. Shout out to Fred. Says, go Eagles. What's up, Fred? What's going on with you, man? Timo, did you get hit with the luxury tax? I ain't seen Timo in a minute. That man's been he's been paying all kinds of taxes, yo. Alex says the second half of their season is going to be demoralizing for them. Wow, that's a serious word there, Alec. He said demoralizing. Just take all strength away from them as a football team. Just completely got them. All right. No, but to be honest, like I said, I think a lot of people didn't really think that the Seahawks would even make it to the playoffs last year. I think it was a great time for Geno Smith to step up. I do think he's going to do a little better this year. We'll see what happens, though. I'm not going to write him off. Seattle is that sleeper team. Pete Carroll's still the coach. That man's got a few tricks still left under his sleeve, and I expect those Seahawks to do something and we might be pleasantly surprised for some of these games. So, yeah. All right. What's next? What do we got? So, we got tomorrow's Steelers for the 28th. And we're winding things down, ladies and gentlemen. We are winding things down. Preseason starts next week on Thursday. Literally 7 days from our first NFL stream back in the building. Let's go. That'll be Thursday Night Football, the Hall of Fame game against the Jets against the Browns. And I'm excited, and I'm sure that you guys are ready for football. I'm sick of talking about it. Well, I'm not sick of talking about it, but I'm sick of talking about it and not seeing it. I'm ready to see it and talk about it, and we're going to have a good time. So, shout out to all you guys. Getting back to the poll, out of 30 votes, will Burrow's injury affect Bengals week 1? 80% of you guys have said yes. So, we shall see. Alex says it's been too long. Yeah, it's been too long. It definitely has. So, Ric Flair, where you at? Shout out to you, Luta. Shout out to all you guys. All right. Yeah, that's going to be it tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I got to get some food. I've been starving. I cooked some really good chicken earlier. And then I was actually doing some work and stuff around the house. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to go cook. And then I'm going to have time to eat before the stream. But guess what? That didn't happen because the chicken was done literally like 4 minutes before the stream started. So I was cooking it up. I was chefing it up. And then had to obviously hop on the stream and get the show ready for you guys. So I'm about to go chow down because I am starving. Starving, without a doubt. So, yeah, tomorrow we'll get into the Steelers. Whatever else is going on, obviously, we'll chop it up from there. And we're getting ready. We are getting ready for preseason football. So, Dewan says it's not real chicken, not real. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I made some real chicken, some fried chicken, and guess what? I'm a hell of a cook. And not only that, I made fried chicken with the cast iron skillet. Don't play with me, okay? I'm a veteran. I know what I'm doing. 6 different spices, flour to perfection. They came out golden, nice and crispy, juicy on the inside. Don't play with me, okay? This chicken is real over here. Don't do it to yourself. But yeah, you guys already know. Dewan says, where did you buy them? Organically, straight from the farm. What's up? You trying to sell me some genetically modified chicken? Is that what you trying to do? I already know where you're going with this, bro. Just stop. Don't do it. Don't do it. I already know where you're going with it. Don't do it. I'm gonna go enjoy my chicken. You have yourself a great night. Take care.